Jack is a great guy. He's written a fantastic book. Everybody's talking about it. Go get it. And he's been my friend right from the beginning of this whole beautiful event. And we're going to turn it around and make our country great again. Amen.
Jack Posobiec, we're back live here, Human Events Daily. So much breaking news going on. Of course, we're in the Charlie Kirk Studio where we're holding it down as much as we can. We are here. Charlie's chair is nearby. It's next to us, but nobody sits in the chair. Erica can sit in the chair if she wants to sit in the chair. Obviously, that's her prerogative. But none of the rest of us, no, wouldn't be right. And we're here. Incredible news. So President Trump's would-be assassin just found guilty on all counts, but also President Trump coming down, talking about childhood autism, the epidemic that's going on, and putting moms first. Putting moms first. It's incredible to see, and it's incredible to have it here, folks. Real quick, I want to read you a message from one of our partners out there. Please go and support them because they've been with us in this very trying time. And so I hope that you will listen to them and be receptive as well. Folks, silver just cracked $44 and gold keeps breaking all-time highs. People always ask me, how do I get involved in the gold sector? And the answer is simple. Allegiance Gold. Whether you're a collector looking for the best pricing in the precious metal space or you're looking to protect your future, doesn't matter if it's $5,000 or $5 million, now is the time to act. Just go to protectwithposo.com to get started. Allegiance Gold is the highest ratings in the industry, and I've been partnered with them for years. When you go to protectwithposo.com or call 844-577 POSO, you can move part of your 401k, IRA, or savings into real physical gold and silver, and you may qualify for up to $5,000 in free silver. And with the way the market is looking, that free silver could be worth a lot more by the time it arrives securely at your doorstep. So call 844-577-POSO or visit protectwithposo.com. That's 844-577-7676 or protectwithposo.com. It's smart, secure, and simple. Call 844-577-7676. I want to bring our guest, Nicole Shanahan, back on here. Nicole, you've been at the forefront of this for so long now, and we're talking about it, but I wanted to also juxtapose what we've learned here in the last 24 hours, because not only has President Trump come out and say this, but here's what's amazing. Just 1 year ago, if he had said that on YouTube, he could have been censored. And we now come to find that YouTube was, in fact, and they have admitted, that they were censoring people based on a push and based on coercion from the federal government in the Biden administration, which we all expected, by the way, and was what we all said was going on the basis of what they labeled medical misinformation. So walk us through, how do these things work in tandem?
You can't have a healthy nation without free speech. I got my daughter's diagnosis in 2019 and went on the internet like every mother does to find information. That's what we do. We go to the internet even before we call our doctors, even before we call our friends, even before we call our own parents. And we expect that we've always trusted these platforms until we didn't, until we heard about somebody's doctor who got censored or a video taken down. That's how I found out. I met an autism mom who told me that her videos were getting taken down off the internet. And if you tried to Google her website, you couldn't find it. And so I was seeing this early on. Obviously, I was in a unique situation, kind of stuck between trying to seek out the best for my daughter, and then being, a Silicon Valley elite, and directly connected in many ways through my time at Stanford and personally to these tech platforms that had aligned or were pressured. Who knows? We're still finding out. There's going to be more information made available, but we know for a fact that voices were being censored. And this has been known to many, many people in the United States for, close to 6 years now. And The challenge that we face in the aftermath of this is that we now live in this siloed world of information. So what do? I would say this morning's admission is probably one of the biggest steps. It's incredibly breakthrough. You pair that with what happened yesterday with President Trump's and Robert F. Kennedy's announcement. We're finally going to get information to help these children out. Can you imagine that gut dysbiosis, which is linked to an autism diagnosis as a comorbidity? Much of that was censored. Andy Wakefield completely censored his entire career, career after he made that finding over 20 years ago. 20 years we've had this information. 20 years we've been trying to get this information out. And it's just been block after block. And it has been the tech companies that have been largely responsible for this, but it's also been the government sending signals that they don't want this information out there.
And when you look at it too, you also have to wonder, when you look at something like YouTube, as powerful as it is, who was the algorithm pushing, right? Which names then were working in conjunction with these corporations? What are their corporate dollars that went behind it, that the government sort of went to YouTube and said, hey, make sure that the algorithm suggests this person next. Hey, make sure this one gets to the front page. Hey, make sure this one gets pushed in. And this is where the coercive effects of, as you say, corporate money and government interests can come together. And I love that we're living in this moment of freedom of speech, but we're not that far removed from what happened. This was only a year ago that we were living under, I just have to say it, we were living under a communist totalitarianism, at least when it comes to online speech. And you saw it with how people were locked up for so many of these things, how so many people were persecuted, how many doctors were persecuted. And it's something that I really think we haven't quite come to grips with yet as a country.
We haven't. And these doctors are waiting for an apology. These doctors are waiting to be replatformed and to have some of their damages rewarded in one way or another. Many of them would be just fine with getting their jobs back. A wonderful pediatrician neurologist from Brown University was just fired last week because it leaked that he was invited onto ASIP. It's gotten some news coverage, but not much. But, maybe Brown should invite him back. If Jimmy Kimmel can get his dismal show back with some online, complaints and political pressure, I think that this doctor should get his job back at Brown
and one
University.
shooting up of an ABC station,
Yeah.
They just go in with the insanity. They go in with the complete insanity. But we're fighting back, and I really hope that the forces of good are winning. Nicole, thank you so much for joining us. Tell people where they can follow your show.
Yeah, Back to the People. Follow our show. We're going to be doing quite a bit in the upcoming weeks on other therapies, things to look out for in your child if they're experiencing signs of chronic disease, sensory processing disorder, apraxia, and all of that. We're finally going to talk about the stuff that's been censored. Thank God for that.
God bless, Nicole. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right, folks, we're also seeing incredible, just stunning breaking news, but not shocking, not surprising, from the Ryan Routh case, where reports are now that Ryan Routh, the violent leftist who attempted to murder President Trump, also just attempted to commit suicide inside the jail, inside the courtroom, where he attempted to stab himself with a pen after he was found guilty. We don't know exactly what his status is, with his medical status, whether or not he did injure himself. But again, the violent left is on full display. It's on full display. Utah Valley University, Florida courtroom, Butler, Pennsylvania, ABC station in Sacramento. Take your pick, but make sure that you do not let your eyes stay closed. Open them up and open them wide. This is the real world. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, you have my permission to lay ashore.